6, 7. Oh, hey there. I was just counting the ribs and rivets on my hopper car. Welcome to Dackman Productions and welcome to Conrail. And no, I wasn't really counting the ribs and rivets, although people have accused me of being a rivet counter. Do I like running prototypical? Yes. Do I like things as accurate as possible? Sure do. And there's more than just me out there. Does that make me a rivet counter? I don't think so. But hey, that's just my opinion. So today I had a viewer on YouTube that made a suggestion. He says, hey, I liked your Conrail reefer car YouTube video with the history and the pictures of the real thing along with showing the model form. Could you do more of those type of videos in that fashion? And it made sense. So today we're going to go back and look at these MTH Conrail Coke hoppers. I did shoot a video of these unboxing them, but I didn't know much about them at that time. And let me tell you, information on these is not easy to come by. These are some rare cars, not the model itself, but in real form. So let's take one out of the box and show you guys. And then, of course, I'll tell my usual Dackman story while unboxing one of these. And hopefully I don't destroy anything while I'm doing it. I'm not paying attention. So, at any rate, while I'm unboxing these, I'll talk about them. I seen MTH, and these are Premier scale, by the way. And that's all I run on Conrail. So I seen MTH announced they were coming out with Conrail Coke hoppers, and when I seen that advertisement, I wasn't exactly sure if Conrail really had Coke hoppers, and I was having a hard time finding any kind of information because I always like to buy something that was really true on a railroad and not fantasy. I might buy something fantasy every once in a while, but I don't make it a habit. So I guess that's why people think I'm a rivet counter. But at any rate, I just couldn't find any information on these. And even one of my friends said, are you really going to buy them because you're a prototypical guy? I'm like, if I don't buy these now, and I find out later that Conrail did indeed have these, then I'm going to kick myself in the butt because I should have bought them and now I'm going to pay a higher premium trying to get them secondhand through YouTube. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and pre-ordered both sets, and I'm so glad that I did. And like I said, these are the Conrail Coke hoppers. They come in a 4-pack. They made 2 different 4-packs, and they made 2 singles as add-ons. And we're going to talk about these. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm glad I bought these because I found out that Conrail really had these. And it took quite a bit of an extensive research to find that information out. And guess what? I found a photo of the real one. So you're going to stay tuned for the rest of the video to see that. I was like jumping for joy when I found a photo of the real one. So, anyway, let's get this on the track and we'll talk more about it. Okay, so we got the MTH Conrail Coke hopper on the track, and the one big noticeable difference of a Coke hopper, you'll notice that's a lot more taller than a normal 70-ton hopper or a 100-ton hopper or a coal porter hopper car. They were taller, and these were used specifically for hauling something called Coke. not the soda, but sort of like a spin-off of coal. So, what is the difference between coal and Coke? I'm sure people are going to ask that question. Coke is basically a fuel with a high carbon content and few impurities, and is made by heating coal or oil in absence of air. A destructive distillation process and an important product used mainly in ore smelting, but is also used as fuel in wood stoves. So if you have a wood stove or coal stove, I should say coal stove, not wood stove, but an airtight stove, which I actually own, is perfect for using coal in. But the problem is, coal is really smoky. So if you use Coke instead, it's a cleaner burn, so you don't get all that smoke just billowing out of the chimney. You get pretty much a nice clean burn. I mean, some coal will burn clean, but you have to burn it really, really hot. That's the downside to pure coal. But anyway, I figured I'd talk a little bit about that. So let's move on to the hopper itself. The MTH Premier, and I'm sure I already covered this, so I'll do very little. But the MTH Premier hopper car does not feature rotating wheel bearing caps. That was one of the things that I thought MTH should have done a few years ago, because Atlas O offers rotating wheel bearing caps, and now, and so does Lionel, but MTH did not on these, and did not on quite a few of their cars. So that's a little bit of disappointment, but it's too little too late, because as most people know, MTH is going out of business supposedly in 2021, but we'll see. Alright, so moving on to the car. I mean, it's a pretty neat car. It comes with a cold or Coke load. You can actually take this load out like so. Put your own load in there if you want, if you don't like the cheap plastic simulated load. And I like the graphics on it. And I mean, it was just a sharp looking car. And like I said, when I bought it, I sort of took a gamble, because I do try to run, realistic cars, or something that you would have seen on a real railroad. And even one of my friends who was an actual locomotive engineer for Conrail Shared Assets, even he was like, I don't know if that Conrail even had those. And he knows, how I like to run. He says, "Are you really going to buy one?" I said, "Yeah. I'm going to buy both sets, because if this ends up being for real, then it's going to be a pain to find them later on. So I'll take the gamble." So I bought the sets, made the unboxing video, and at that time I still didn't find any photos of the real thing, but lucky for me, I actually ran into, finally, some information on these. So I finally get my answer, and the answer is yes. Conrail really had these high Coke hopper cars. According to the information that I found, they were bought from ICG, and they were used to haul Coke. Somebody actually seen one in use going to Clairton, Pennsylvania with a load of Coke in it. So these were really, really existed on Conrail. So I'm so excited to have seen that information. And and review, and I know I said I'm not a rivet counter, But I'm going to go ahead with the next information. So if somebody mentions that the MTH version seems to have 13 ribs instead of 15, but it's a good, what I would call, tenor. And I know what everybody's thinking. They're saying, did Dakman just say the car is a good tenor? What is that? So, here in South Jersey, we come up with a lot of our own slang words and our own way of saying certain words. But tenor, that's a word that we normally use here. And no, that has nothing to do with the symphony orchestra. And I know everybody's like, Dakman knows about orchestras? No, I'm not a classical music lover by any means, but at least I know there's a tenor section in that. Anyway, so tenor, what does that mean in South Jersey? So let's say somebody paints their train car, and then they ask me, okay, they spray paint it, whatever. And we look at it, and they show it to me, and they ask me, all right, what do you think of my train car? I'm like, that's a good tenor. And that's a good compliment. Tenor, meaning it looks good from 10 or more feet away. As you get closer than 10 feet, it doesn't look so pretty anymore. So, when we fixed up cars in my day, or painted, spray bombed our pickup trucks to go through the woods or whatever have you, we always called them tenor vehicles. Looks good from 10 or more feet away. So go ahead and talk about the real thing with the photo. Finally found one. Of course, by looking at the picture, you'll see it's being towed around by a CSX, early CSX locomotive. So this is a little bit after the Conrail era. But the Coke hoppers did exist. Here's a picture of one, and you can see the number actually starts with 47, just like it does on the MTH version. So MTH actually did a pretty good job of recreating the actual Conrail Coke hopper. I'm so glad I found this photo. And so we'll go on with the review. So yeah, we have a different way of saying things here in South Jersey. Like, we say water, not water. And also we say radiator, not radiator. So in South Jersey, we have wood in our water and rats in our radiators. So come on and visit us. At any rate, thanks for hanging around, watching Dakman Productions on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm reboxing this on video, by the way. I don't know if that's a thing. And make sure you hit the like button, because that's important to my channel. And hope to see you guys next video round. Bye.